Hi everybody, it's Michelle. I'm here in my home garden today. It is July 31st and I'm going to give you my garden tour. I'm sitting in the newest portion of my garden. This is my melon wall. I don't know what I did. I think I overplanted my melons in buckets, but I'm going with it. I'm going to see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen. I actually made a video about this arched trellis that I made with PVC piping and welded wire, and I wanted to show you some of these melons that I got going on. It's week 9 in our garden today, so I put my garden in the ground May 31st, and these melons went in about the middle of June. So about a month in the books, these melons are already over 6 feet tall. I planted them in these buckets, these containers. I got them at a variety of different places. Home Depot were the bigger buckets. These are 11 gallon. These are about 8 gallon, I think. And I think I got them from, I think maybe Dollar General. But I wanted to share with you a little bit about these plants. This is a Kajari melon. I have not got any Kajari melons sprouted thus far. This seems to look like my first female flower right here on my Kajari melon, which would make me very happy. I have a very small baby watermelon back there that you see. But tons of baby, sugar baby watermelons and Benikodima melons. And they're right there. And I actually put them inside the mesh produce bags to hold them so that the weight of that doesn't snap them off and they hit the ground. So I put these in there just to have a little, that's heavy. It's a heavy little melon there. I learned that from Roots and Refuge Farm. So I came out here last night and I tied a bunch of them up. This is a new little baby. And that is producing really well, these watermelons here. And then I'm not sure, I think that might be the Benikodima. That's a darker melon, about the same size as these. See how it's a dark melon versus a light and striped. So I don't know the difference because I don't remember, I can't tell where these vines are coming from. I guess that's what I'm saying. This is my cucamelon. I have 4 plants in this bucket and they're growing up. I've actually tried to trellis over some more of the plant this way because this is just going to get really full. My trellis is over 8 feet tall and you can see tons of little baby cucamelons hanging out up there. They're just getting to the point where you can pick them and eat them. I'm going to give them a couple more days because I've never tried one in my life and I'm so excited to try it. I'm still having an issue with my pepper plants. My peppers, they're huge. Obviously, you can see them. They're lush. I have tons of jalapenos growing in here. Banana peppers, and I'm not seeing a ton of bell peppers at all. That's kind of heartbreaking because I never even got any blossoms on these plants. This is supposed to be red pepper, no blossoms. I put some bone meal down. I don't know what's going to happen. My banana peppers are looking really good. Still no blossoms on any of my peppers. Volunteer tomato plant here, volunteer tomato. Cucumbers are doing really well. I just harvested a bunch of them. I'm going to pickle those today. I'm going to let a couple of these go to huge so I can harvest out the seeds. You got to let them get super, super, super mature. I sprayed all these plants yesterday with fish fertilizer on the leaves, and that's why there's tons of flies out here today. They're sucking up all that yummy stuff that I sprayed on there. These are my tomato plants that I have going on. I've been tying them up to the trellis. Several huge tomatoes in here. Really good sized tomatoes. This guy has still been struggling, but he's not dying, so I'm going to leave him. I don't have another plant to put in there anyway. This is a heirloom seed tomato from Italy. Same thing here. This is Berkeley tie-dye pink. These tomatoes are beautiful. They're striped. This one, I hope he's going to be okay. He's got a lot of stripes on him right here, like etches in there. I don't see any bird damage, which is fantastic, because my birds do sit on this trellis all the time. And I have bird feeders over there. This one's doesn't have a ton of tomatoes on it. This is Kellogg's Breakfast. This tomato is giant. It's as big as my hand. Look at that. It's huge. This is a beefsteak tomato. That's as big as my hand also. This branch is just very heavy. This is going to tip over if I don't find a way to tie that up. This is a Cherokee Purples. That's Cherokee Purple. Cherokee Purple. My marigolds are struggling because they're in buckets. Next year I'm going to make sure to plant the marigolds at the foot of the garden inside the ground instead of being in buckets, because I see that they tend to have problems. These are the Paul Robesons. These just kind of developed overnight. I'm glad this is working out well. 2 Paul Robeson plants. They look beautiful. This is a Brandywine, starting to set fruit now. We had some pest damage and I picked it off. This is Brandywine. And this, I don't know what this is. I don't have a tag for this plant. And then that's another Kellogg's Breakfast, which these tomatoes are massive. Like, that's huge. They're so heavy. All of my plants, you can see, are almost up to the top of the trellis. My trellises are, I think they're about 6 feet tall. These tomatoes are the tallest ones that I have. And that one over there, which is that tomato heirloom from Italy. Wow, that one needs to be deadheaded big time. But again, these containers with the marigolds, I feel really bad because they struggle because I don't water them every day. These are my potato buckets. Let me flip this around. Potato buckets. I finally filled them all up with compost and straw, manure, and potting mix. And then, sorry for the traffic. And then I put wood chips on the top. Somebody's been digging in there. And then you just leave them and let them grow. This is the biggest potato plant that I have so far. I think there's 5 sprouts in each bucket, so I'm just waiting for them all to pop up. And then you let them get big and tall, and those plants will get really big. These are my flower beds. A couple sunflowers here, zinnias, a wildflower mix that I put over here. It's a pretty butterfly. See if he'll let me get you. Oh, where'd he go? It's pretty awesome. Which is kind of ironic that this is the butterfly mix that he's actually on right now. I got these wildflower mixes from the Dollar General, and they were like $1.50 a box. I just threw them in the tires because I didn't know what else to put in there. These sunflowers out, these are all about 5 feet tall. They're doing pretty good. Tons of zinnias. Little disappointed. I planted gladiolas in here and some dahlias, and I haven't seen anything come up yet. I don't know if that's maybe a flower or a weed. I just left it. I can't remember exactly where I planted them. Some of these zinnias are so pretty. I think I showed you before my volunteer tomato. Don't know where he came from, but he's got some little cherry tomatoes on there. But he gets to stay. Let's take you to the backyard garden. I actually pulled out all of my onions and, come on Molly. Pulled out all my onions and I put green beans in place for that. So I'll get to show you that today. Okay, here we are in the backyard garden. I have these 2 cherry tomato plants. These are husky cherry tomatoes. They're doing okay. They're container buckets, so I know that they're depleted in nutrients, and that's why these aren't so green anymore. I'm going to feed them a little bit more so that they'll be okay. I transplanted a couple squash here, a zucchini and a yellow squash. We're going to see what happens here. I did plant some starts of tomatoes. Those didn't survive. Well, I have a chipmunk too, so he's been tearing this garden up, which is really making me mad. My Brussels sprouts seem to be okay. They're not dead, and I know that that's something that comes to fruition in the fall. Oh, I'm still recording. Sorry about that. These are kale. I've been harvesting off of those and eating that in my salads. This is a volunteer lettuce that I had from last year. I really enjoyed this lettuce. This lettuce was really good. I don't even remember the variety of it. But I'm going to leave it in the ground and let it bolt so I can get the seed from it. Because I really liked it. I've been harvesting off of this as well and eating this. These are my okra. Those are the green beans that I planted about 10 days ago. They're about a foot tall. Okra. Look at these little baby pods. So cute. That okra is ready to pick. I had to get the clippers out here because it's really hard to pick these when you don't have a clipper. And sunflowers. And then these are the crosses that I put in my garden so that I can tie up the green beans, because these are a pole variety, pole green beans, and so I'm just going to let them grow up the strings. So that's pretty much my garden, everybody. I just wanted you because I had a little bit of an overcast day. Again, it's July 31st. It's week 9 in the garden, and give you kind of a quick little picture of my flowers. Are doing really well. My coleus has gone bonkers, so I scooched him over here because he's so pretty. And we had some rain, thank God, so I covered my cushions. And then all these beautiful things. This Rio, it's called, or something, with a Rio. These are gorgeous. I definitely love these. I'm going to grow these again next year. I don't know if they're supposed to be short and stubby like that or what, but I have one in a bucket and these 2 in the ground. We're going to see what happens. A piece of my wandering Jew fell off into the ground here, and it has sprouted. The bees love this plant, this white stuff. I don't even know what it is, but the bees love it. I sit on my patio out here all the time, and I work on the computer. And I get to enjoy the hummingbirds coming out to see me, and enjoy my space out here. So thank you very much today. I very much so wish you the very best in your gardening adventures. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I wish you the best. Good luck.